Hello and welcome to Future Tech Interview Series, a series of delightful interaction with academicians and leading scientists of India. I'm Alpana Saha. Today I'm interacting with Dr. G.K. Mishra, Principal and member of CBSE. Hello, sir, to all of you. Mr. Mishra, how can you relate society and science?
In my opinion, society and science goes hand in hand. Every society is actually inbuilt science, if I say, because without science, probably the progress of the society which we see nowadays might have not been possible. If I take you to little back, when the science was not there as dominant as today, people used to travel through different kinds of transport, and they used to actually suffer a lot. But look at the science bringing that transportation to sometimes even half of the time which earlier it used to be. Similarly, in computation, in office work, in doing transactions in different bankings and all that.
So science was always
Exactly. I think society is science nowadays.
So how can we use it for the benefit of the society instead of using it in the opposite manner? We have seen what happened when Albert Einstein was working on the theory of relativity and how it was used.
In fact, science needs to be not only understood in the right spirit of what we call scientific temperament. Later on, it becomes very imperative for those people who use science as a tool. So, rightly said, if suppose I know a lot of science, but then I end up misusing it, then probably it's a curse for the society. So, saying that science is society is not sufficient. Use of science in the society need to be done judiciously, and for that, I think education plays a vital role.
So what ethics for use of science should be embedded in the education system?
It's very simple. If science is giving us a benefit, if science is giving us an advancement, it should be used for the purpose of improving the lifestyle of the mankind. Whether it is education, whether it's imparting the transportation from one place to another, the technology which the people need in rural areas, I think science can have a great help. But then I'm sorry that at a larger scale, when we talk about, sometimes the misuse of science is equally dominating the society. Not to say that the people nowadays is always at the threshold of that misuse of science. People have developed very dangerous weapons, and we all know that those weapons are nothing but the product of science only.
Yeah.
But now, when we think of, the goosebumps occur when we think of the use of those deterrents. At any time, the whole society might be finished.
Yeah, and the entire civilization
Exactly.
will come to
So,
an end.
since they have developed, they say only that they want the self-sustainment, they want to show the world, everybody, including our country, own country. But then, at very fact, when the science give us these weapons, I think parallel to that, people must be taught that these weapons are not to be used actually. And if it is not to be used, I'm sorry to say, this will be vanished also. This will be finished. Let us convert that atomic energy not for developing the weapons. We can still use the science judiciously, as you said, ethics. The ethics says that the atomic energy transformation can be used for the power production.
Production, and so it will be in the
And
benefit
medicines.
of the-
Medicines.
Yeah, medicine.
But then, I don't know in which direction the science has taken us. I think there is a need for introspection for the whole world community.
It's a nice thought. And you are from science background, and now you are in the field of education. How you relate both the things?
Education is an integral part of society. Science is society. So probably I come back to the education as a part of the society.
Society. So you want to give contribute to the society. That's why you.
Exactly. I think everybody in the society has a very vital role to play. Same for the people who know science. People like me who has got the knowledge of science, physics, they can always contribute by imparting the basics knowledge to the children. Because I came to this profession by virtue of my passion to teach physics, which is my very passionate. I'm very passionate to teach physics. Even today, I teach in class. I go and teach them. So when I teach them, I understand the basic concepts are to be taught to the children. They are not very practical to relate the things which are written in the book to the things which are there in the life.
True. That's true. So, how science education needs to be transformed, or the present scenario of science education in the country is okay, according to you?
I don't think so. Because in the run of development, in the run of industrialization, the basic methodology, what you call rightly pedagogy of teaching science has got a defeat. Somewhere down the line I realized that the science labs has not been developed to the level it was supposed to be, and in absence of the proper practical knowledge, science are being remembered by the children. They are just mugging up the concepts and laws, and then they are vomiting in the exams. I'm sorry, that is not teaching science, in my opinion.
So, how can it be changed according to
There is a need of developing practical labs. I'm sorry, because of the advancement in the technology, people are now talking about virtual labs, which is a further curse to the practicality of the science.
So you first want the physical lab there.
Exactly.
So it will show that the lab is present.
Exactly. Every level. Why not class 1? Tell me. Why not class 5? Do we need a science lab, a tag of only 12th class or 11th class to go and access there? I'm sorry to say.
No, because by then the student will
Exactly.
inculcate something else and be distracted towards the science.
Rather, in my opinion, every class must be given a corner which should be called as the science lab. Because every now and then children see small scientific phenomena. Teachers can definitely ask them to bring those scientific material free of cost available and show some experiments in the class. And there the scientific temperament starts inculcating among the kids. And then the fear of science might convert as a love towards science later on when they reach to the 6th, 7th, 8th class. I'm not talking still 9th and 10th.
Yeah.
But then this should be rooted right from the beginning of the nursery level.
Yeah, I'm talking because of your explanation. One question occurred in my mind that scientific temperament was taught in the country immediately after the independence. When the first Prime Minister of the nation also was talking about the scientific temperament, the present Prime Minister of the nation is also talking about the scientific temperament. If they were so serious about scientific temperament, where did the scientific temperament philosophy fail in the nation?
I'm not going to criticize what our late Prime Minister said as a matter of respect to him, but then I'm sorry, at a political front, sometimes people say something, but then by the time it reaches to the grassroots level, it becomes entirely different objective altogether. For example, as a principal, if I talk big sitting on my chair all the time, I say that the children in my school must do science activity every day. But suppose the same voice echoes to the teachers and they went to the class and they also said to children. But none of them, including me myself, have got a system where we are helping children to perform science-related activities and demonstrate. So the right platform, right opportunities need to be created.
So systematic change
Exactly.
is very important.
Yeah. There was a system error, I guess, and it is still continuing in our society, which is not helping us. Look at the foreign countries. I have heard that those people, they have science lab, in fact, as early as the primary level. And even at senior level, 50% of the weightage of the subject like physics, chemistry and biology, that is given to the laboratory work. Only 50% taught. In our system, 30%, and that too practical marks, you all know how it is going to be imparted by the children in our system.
In that too, 30%,
Lot of manipulation.
few are there for Viva,
Exactly.
and then it again comes to the theory.
And the examiner who comes in our school, in our system, they are not too much bothered the children performing the activity and experiment. They are busy in taking pakode and chai most of the time, which is not correct.
True. You said that the student mug up the things and that they present in the answer sheet, and that is the process which is happening in the education system of the nation. So how can you eradicate it? Because 2 plus 2 is 4, and after that 2 ones are 2 and 2 twos are 4, and then the tables are taught. So why not to eradicate the table system? How can you work on that? That the table system should be eradicated, and instead of the theory behind those tables should be taught to the people.
In my opinion, two things need to be done immediately. It is just like ICU situations. I feel that if not now, then it will never happen. Because things are actually critically going in a very dangerous direction.
Right.
Number one, there should be reduction of the syllabi as far as the theory is concerned. We need not to teach too much of theory in the classroom. We need to convert those theory which are taught completely into the practical. So I mean to say that the syllabi of the different classes should be restructured. I think the NCRT or the CBSE must join hand and improve upon in such a way that they bring about a syllabus which has got 50% theory and 50%, and only those things are being taught which are to be done practically in the lab. Second thing, let the children, along with the children, let the teachers also be the taught that skill of teaching everything by practical. Science teachers especially. That experiential learning need to be promoted. If I go to teach, suppose pressure in a classroom, and I'm a science teacher, and I start teaching pressure as pressure is force upon area, probably children might not understand. But if I give them various examples before actually introducing pressure, the pressure is this. Better the balloon, when you fill with the air being putting inside, balloon gets inflated because of the pressure. We have a blood pressure. Your headache actually is the result of the blood pressure. There is a pressure which you impart on a board to pierce a thumb pin by putting the thumb at the top of the thumb pin, and that happens because of the pressure. And because of the pressure, that thumb pin goes inside and it holds the paper which you want to put. There is a pressure when you hammer a nail in the wall just to hang out a calendar or suppose a photo frame. So the children start correlating. And it could happen as early as class 3rd, 4th, 5th.
Yeah.
And then
they'll be interested in science, and there will be scientific awareness, and they will like science.
Exactly.
Because science is falling, and people are saying that nowadays science are falling and commerce is holding the ground. What's your thought?
I feel that it is flourishing in a very right pace. Why? Because commerce and industry go hand in hand.
So pace of both the sections should be the same.
And commerce is helping even science to grow up.
Yeah, because
we need to just rectify the problems which we had in the pedagogy of teaching science.
So what inspired you to take science?
I belong from a very humble background, ma'am. I remember those days when my father used to pressurize me for going to a profession like advocate and judges, because these jobs used to fascinate him. And he kept telling me that this is the profession you're meant for. But then I kept lying him. I kept lying as a token of respect. I said, yes, I want to be judge. But somewhere down the line, I kept thinking, it got reverberating in my mind that no, I have got something else in me. And I used to be a very inquisitive child in the classroom. I used to ask questions. I used to run behind the teachers after every class. And I used to get the appointment, sir, tell me when your period is free. Because I used to have a lot of doubts. And then by the time I reached to class 9th and 10th, I started finding that I used to solve all the numerical problems frequently. So I started thinking at that point of time that it is my forte, the mathematics and physics. So then I took class 11th and 12th. I scored very good marks. But to be very honest, like nowadays I see children, I was still not very sure that I'm going to make my career in physics and mathematics. But then when I joined Banaras Hindu University, then I met a couple of professors. I think they changed my life. The way they used to teach, the way they used to relate the things with the practical life, the way they used to give importance of every bits, every small things, and then they relate the big things with those small things. Then I think I got that sparked in me. I started thinking that yes, this is something which I love to do.
So what is your advice to the student population?
In what aspect? If you ask in terms of science?
In terms of science.
In terms of science, I feel that this scientific temperament, what you call, is there in every child. Our system, along with the teachers, community, need to give a boost up to that. We need to develop our system which helps the scientific temperament, which is already there in the kids, to get boost up. I'm very sure that if the teachers also get trained, because let us don't blame teachers also, because they are not taught these temperament in their BL and ML classes. And as far as the higher studies are concerned, I don't think that in higher studies scientific temperaments are taught. We always teach the depth level of the science, the quantum physics, statistical mechanics. These things are not going to develop the scientific temperament. So I think there's a restructured training required to all the teachers, along with the supplementary science lab, basic elementary science lab, right from class 1 to class 12. I think these two once happens, I think our children are going to do wonderfully well in science.
Thanks a lot for your viewpoint and thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.